The blue suit. What's wrong with the blue suit? I want to try and get a red one. I know Mark from Shannon's, he loves it. Said that it reminded him of something out of the banana splits. So made a big impact on him. Speaking of big impact, this day now, talking about the Fairlane behind me, I didn't know when I was going to start talking about that because it was one of these cars I guess that I thought I was going to buy and keep forever. And that is true because I am keeping it. But today the Fairlane officially goes into retirement at a graceful 733,000 kilometres. This car is like an arm to me, it's a limb. It's one of your children almost. It represents so much of your life. A lot has happened in my 18 years. 18 years is a lot for everyone. And things can happen. You've got family circumstances, mechanical circumstances. You might have a car every few years. Just not many people keep a car and drive it every day for 18 years. And I'm not talking about getting a car and just running it down to the railway station every day. Catching a train to work, for example. This car here was an interstater. And you speak to some people and, oh yeah, we had a good run out of our car. Went to Queensland twice. You think, went to Queensland twice? Wow. I've had times where those kilometres, this Fairlane was doing that every 3 weeks. I got the car in 2000. It was just on 4 years old. And I saw it in a car yard at Bowral in the Southern Highlands, New South Wales. And it was like brand new. Seriously, it was. Getting this car meant so much. And I can remember when I did get it, I'd sit in the driveway at night and just look at all the lights on the dashboard and think, wow, I couldn't believe I was in a 5-litre Fairlane. And 61,000 Ks, when I saw it for the first time in the glove box, I went straight to the owner's manual. And there was a company in there that owned it. So I took the details down, went home and I called the company. I said, oh look, you know, you've just traded a Fairlane. And the guy said, oh yes, the silver Fairlane. That was our general manager's car. He said, great car, you won't go wrong. I said, good. And I said, it seems to be in good condition. And he just explained that the company policy was that strict, right down to sales reps, that all the company cars have to be incredibly cared for, to the point where they could almost lose their jobs if they didn't. So that kind of sold me. During the 18 years of the Fairlane, it let me down on the side of the road once when I required a tilt bed. It was about 11 o'clock at night coming back from Sydney, and the fuel pump went. And I can remember that was at 323,000 Ks. This car behind me now at 733,000 has still got the second fuel pump in it. It's the only time it actually physically stopped on the side of the road and I couldn't start it again. 18 years is a long time to drive a car every day. It really is. Some people get another car every few years. But I guess my thinking was get a great car and keep it. I've only done standard things to this car: shock absorbers, brake pads, brake rotors, tyres, servicing every 10,000 Ks, oil, filter, air cleaner and a fuel filter every 10,000 Ks no matter what. Even if it didn't need the fuel filter, I still did it. And also, always ran the car on 98 fuel, never anything else, always 98. And you know what? When the engine was pulled down at 600,000 Ks and freshened up, that is where it really showed. It was evident of the 98 fuel because of how clean the engine was inside. It was remarkably clean. The fuel deposits were absolutely minimal. The oil was clean under the rocker covers. There was no sludge build-up. The engine was really in great condition. I guess the appointment of the Fairlane I've loved over the years. I've loved the finish of the car, the velour, the fabrics, the right amount of wood grain, just enough. Being a car guy, because it's a 5-litre Windsor, there's a lot of heritage there, and although it's fuel injected, they didn't do much to the Windsor in terms of the old pattern. They just bolted some new stuff around it, and it has been an incredible engine. Absolutely amazing engine. The transmission has been fantastic. 4-speed automatic transmission back in the day. 15-inch wheel with a 70 series tyre. You're still around the 2,000 RPM doing the speed limit out on the freeway. So you've still got an older car that is still loping along nicely. There's nothing high stressed about it. The gearing, I believe, it's a fantastic package for 1995. This car has just always been a good, honest car. No clunks, no squeaks or rattles. It's just started and ran beautifully. Long wheelbase, lots of highway work, 7, 8, 9 hour stints behind the wheel, sometimes more. Places this car has been, you know, it's almost like as though my brain is like a computer hard drive. It's got no more RAM left when I think of where the car has been. It's more than the old cliche of, oh, it's been everywhere, mate. Everyone says that. The car's been everywhere. Well, it can't go everywhere. But I know it's a figure of speech and it's a very broad one. But the places that it's been, I honestly can't remember. It's just too much. It is just too much. 733,000 kilometres on a car. Less 61,000 that I didn't do. It's still quite a lot. It's incredible too what you put the car through as well. You know, my son was brought home on the back seat from the hospital as a bub in this car. He's driving now. You know, where did that time go? Built 2 houses in the time I've had this car. And what you put the car through. It's the emotions that come with this Fairlane. It's the conversations that you've had in the car. It's the good times you've had in the car. It's the bad times. Members of family that have passed, that have ridden in that car, that aren't with us anymore, you know? Yeah. That's the trouble when you keep a car too long. It comes with all this stuff. It's nice, but they're a moving storybook, and I say on the TV show, you know, a moving time capsule. And that's what they are. When you're passionate about a car that you love, you do tend to keep it a long time. It's been incredibly efficient motoring over 18 years to keep this car. Minimal repairs. And I've had people say, oh, you must have had a good one. Well, there's a lot of people out there that have had Fairlanes that have had a good one then. This car has seen everything. And I'm not joking, everything. Winds as strong as what we get in this country. Freezing conditions, possibly -5, -6. 46-degree heat Celsius. Middle of the desert. Thumping along at 120, 130 k's an hour in the old day in 40-degree heat. Sit on that all day out west. Hailstorms, where you think, oh my God, you know, here we go, it's going to be written off. Rain that covers the freeway. Lose your visibility. Couldn't see. Guesswork. Been through that. Bushfire smoke. That's scary. You go through bushfire smoke, there's no fun in that. Been through that. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah, I guess it's funny in a way. A lot of people would think, oh, you know, 23-year-old car with over 700,000 Ks on it that's got a busted ass. It doesn't have a busted ass, no. See, I'm a very fussy type person. I like things to work. If it's got a function, make sure it works. I've never had the analogy of, oh, it's an old car, so it doesn't matter if that doesn't work. As soon as something may have stopped working, fix it straight away. Keep it a good car. This car behind me here, look, I'm sure I'm not the only guy in Australia with a similar story. There'll be people out there that have had cars with similar history. It's not just totally a Mark Fletcher story, it's just the one that I know about. But everything on the car works. The air conditioning is icy cold. The heater works. Everything works. Everything on the control panel works. There's no switches that have decided to go and have a nap for the last 10 years. The features of the car from 1995 too. I'm happy with the features, even on today's standards. It doesn't have the safety features of today's cars. It's got an airbag on the driver's side. 95% of this car's life, it's just been me there. With a trip computer, cruise control, of course power steering, four-wheel disc brakes, air conditioning, a heater, and that's climate control obviously as well. That all works. Like I said, there's nothing in the car.